Welcome back. I just want to do sort of an introspective of this week for this project Viminacium. Before I get into the actually I might move this down because oops. There we go. Before I get into the practice takes that I'm doing for the project, so I'll do a bit of a consolidated sort of reflection. This week's been pretty good in terms of progressing towards the project. I am doing obviously several other things behind the scenes that I am preparing for it that I don't feel 100% comfortable yet sharing. I'm really working hard to stop saying but it's very challenging. The progression I am right now, we're into sort of, we could say, week 3 of this project Viminacium. It is the main project I've been developing over the past few years, with some underlying projects and sub-projects that are coming to support it as well before that main push. But my main focus is vocally for these 3 particular songs before I move on to sort of phase 2 and work on the instrumentals and other parts as well. These 3 songs are very important vocally, particularly being that one of the songs are sort of the main sort of start of the project, and then the other 2 songs are very much just straight up vocal covers rather than any sort of creative music production and reworks, etc. I sort of wanted to get the most challenging vocals out of the way and make sure that the more spoken word ones, that I do one of them that I'm a little more confident with and get that out of the way so it doesn't keep sort of being behind the scenes. So just get that wrapped up and then I can have the time to focus on the next phase of things. Overall, with being unwell the week before, it definitely set me back a little bit. How much, I'm not 100% sure yet. My aim was to get these 3 recordings for the project done by the end of next week. At the moment, it's touch and go. I'm still not 100% like recovered vocally. At the low end is still a bit, and this week the biggest challenge for me has been pitch. It's been very sharp and flat. It hasn't been stable. So that's something I've had to deal with this week. Tone wise, I find that that's been my big strength this week, and developing a better tone overall between the 3 pieces. Really getting to the right character for vocally for the pieces. So that's been really good. But now it's just letting the voice recover while continuing to sort of develop it and push. Yeah, look, I didn't come from a place where I was vocally exceptionally talented. Took a lot of time and practice to get it to a place where I was confident in sharing it. Yeah, that's something I just have to be mindful of. The main sort of goal for me is to make sure that it's easy to perform for me, that I'm relaxed, I'm not tense about it, that I know the words correctly, that they're pronounced well, and that I give the energy, the vibe for that I want. And when I move into the next project and so on, then progress even further and keep pushing forward. I just don't want to be stuck in a cycle of constantly having delay to at one point get that point I want to get it to. It's just gonna be a process of gradually getting to that stage and forming it, working on new music, and in 10 years time or something like that, whatever be the case. So that's kind of my target, making sure that those 3 areas are very good. Once I feel that, once I know that it's there, then I'll be happy to record it. I feel that for N95 I am very close to where I wanted. I just had to wait for my voice to heal 100%, and then I will just attack it and record it, and it is what it is. Before I forget, I feel that's my biggest weakness right now for these three, of the three. And I need to really hone that in and make sure that the dictation is right on point, and making sure that vocally it's not tense and it's relaxed and powerful. The lower end screams still need work. Obviously, it's not going to be at the level that the screamo metal bands do, like Searching for Alexandria. That's what they're called. I'm not 100% familiar with the screamo stuff. I have my own sort of way of approaching it. I do like a little bit of screamo, but I wouldn't say that that's my natural forte. So I would say it's an area that I'm pushing myself a little bit in. So it's important to give respect to that area because it takes a lot of time. And these guys are very talented in preserving that range and vocally being able to get volume out of that range when you're doing the growls. I think for my purposes, for what I want to share in this song and that sort of direction I want to take and that space I want to create for before I forget, I think it serves it well. And it's only for a few key moments throughout the song. But overall, I would prefer it to be very clear in what I'm saying and just have it there as impact moments, rather than a performance of screams and growls and of that nature, because that obviously is going to take a lot more time to really develop. And right now it's not my strongest point. So yeah, that's one I'm still working on, but I feel that I am becoming more confident in it. I think the main area there is the register and keeping the right pitch, making sure, because it's a higher register for me, and it's not an area I am more comfortable in. I am more comfortable in the lower registers, the more baritone elements. Once we get into more the tenor, soprano almost areas, it can be much more of a challenge for me vocally to perform. That's some of the things a good sort of practice area, I would say, for that range. This is why you can see how this, the reason behind me picking these three songs to work on first. One of the songs, it really gives me just confidence knowing that I can do it, spoken word and vocally. And then the other two are very, vocal challenges. So I want to just get them done, so then I know confidently that, okay, we can push forward. So some of the thing I would say that's sort of the main area that I'm focusing on now, keeping that sort of higher register. Then we duck down. When we duck down into that bridge section for the lower registers, feel a little more comfortable, but I am still searching for getting it bang on, and then going for that lower octave, pushing up not just one but like 2 octaves and making sure it's bang on. It's great to see Pavarotti do that, like no problems. But I don't have a beard, and unfortunately I'm not naturally as gifted as Pavarotti vocally. So it's just practice and relaxing and pushing yourself to maintain your register when you're jumping up very quickly to the next sort of octave range. So that's one of the challenges I find for the song. But overall, it's a summer vibe song. It's a bit of a sexy song. It's a bit of a mysterious sort of song. Overall, it's a nice, good vibe, party sort of summer vibe song, which is nice, and we need that. But yeah, I would say that that's sort of those couple of things that I'm still working on. I would say one of my strengths for the song, for Summer Thing, is the inflections and really sort of getting in the groove of the song. But I would say that's sort of one of the positive sides, and overall the tone that I get for the song, I'm happy with. So there you go. That's a bit of just a sort of reflection on those three and how I sort of been progressing overall for the project. for week 3 of pushing for the Viminacium project. The piano is still an area that I am working on before I am confident in sort of sharing some practice takes on that. The drums in a good place, but I just have some modules and connections and stuff like that. I just haven't got around to find the time yet to just really implement that just in 100%, because it's just sound weird electronically, just things clicking with no sound. So yeah, gonna work on that. But overall with the drums, I'm happy with them. I think they're in a good place, but I've put a lot of time into preparing the drums. So yeah, no surprises there. That's really good. Guitars, overall, I'm very confident in the guitar. I've been playing it for a very long time. I'm always willing to push myself and try new areas, whether that's slightly going off or whatever. I'm not constraining myself on it's because it might sound a bit weird. I'm always just creatively wanting to push and figure out where the sort of boundaries are and go beyond them and see what we can do with it. So yeah, obviously the guitar I am the most most confident in. I would say the guitar, and then the DJing, the mixing side of things, performance-wise. So yeah, some of the acoustic elements. I'm working on getting the tempos where I want them to be, because that's really a key for me, and then the singer-songwriter sort of aspects of things. DJ-wise, mixing-wise, the performances that I've selected, the mixes that turned out well, I'm confident with them. I just have another project that's before this that's going to be supporting this main project. Really going to be the heart of everything going forward. So I've been working on that behind the scenes for the DJ set. So that's going to be really good. I've actually got a meeting on the weekend to discuss sort of they're hiring on some things, etc. So that's going to be pretty good. I'm excited to share that with you all in the coming weeks and months. What else? I still have a few of the production or the creative side of things, the creation of the music, actually the production side of the music to finish. Thankfully, a good amount of the songs for the new album are done. It's just a few that I've sort of decided to include and do an additional sort of production on them. Some songs I've just left as acoustics. But some of them I decided to have a sort of, a studio sort of production support. So they have the studio version, the one that will be available on the actual main album, and then the acoustic one will be separate, for example. The meaning, the emphasis behind that is just I felt it needed a bit of a different take on things. I just felt it'd be cool to do a production alternative as well for that song to support it. What else? Yeah, guitars. Yeah, so that's the main thing. So you can see the first practice take I did for stimulus, just making sure that more relaxed, getting in that right pocket, making sure tonally I want to get it. I'm still trying to work out the structure behind how I want things to be placed, but overall I am pretty confident with how it's shaping up. I still have a couple other ones I want to share with you as well. I'm just working on them first a little bit more because I'm not really sure where it's going and which chords I want to use and stuff like that. But yeah, so there you go. So overall, we're progressing well. Vocally, I'm just battling sort of with that and sort of going forward with what we have and then just doing everything else in the background. The content stuff we do for YouTube and all that. So there you go, a bit of just an introspective for this week. Positives, but unfortunately, yeah, just sort of gotta wait for the vocal to heal up, and then sort of push forward. I would say maybe like mid-March, I can hopefully get these 3 recordings ready, and I'm also looking at getting an additional microphone for some of these studio recordings rather than just using the 58, just to give it that extra little bit of a push and support on the low end. The 58, the microphone, is good for the mid and more the spoken word stuff, but because a good amount of stuff that I'm going to be doing is in the lower registers as well, I need a little more support in the lower registers, and the 58 I feel just lacks a little bit down there. Yeah, I just found another mic to give me that additional support and go from there. I haven't even decided if it's going to be just a mono signal or stereo signal with 58 sort of in the background. It'll probably just be a mono signal direct into one microphone and then sort of go from there. But yeah, without further ado, enjoy the new practice takes for Before I Forget Something N95, and I will catch you next week to share with you some of the insights and progression of how we're going towards this project, and I'll give you guys obviously more insight to what it is and what we're doing. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for joining me and watching. I don't know if I'm gonna call this its own series. I might just put it part of the VX vlog, or maybe its own sort of introspection. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. Okay. I'd see it.